Welcome to Off-Grid Victory. So today I wanted to talk about the most important ammunition to have on a homestead or on a farm when you're living off-grid and such. So what I'm showing you here is a NATO caliber 7.62 by 51 millimeter round, commonly called a 308. 308 Winchester, because it is a 30 caliber bullet. As you can see, this is a pretty large bullet, and this will take down anything, any kind of game in North America, as well as the military uses it, right? So yeah, I mean, this is a very good round, very powerful round, but not something that we can stockpile readily, and not something really versatile enough to use on the homestead. And so let me show you what is the most important round. Not this big guy, but you guessed it, this little guy. And yes, that is the common, the ever so humble 22 long rifle, 22 LR. Now this round, it's been around for a long time. It is a rim fire, so the primer is inside the rim, and not in the center here, like in this 308 rifle cartridge. And that's what you should have on a homestead. Now everyone learns to shoot on a 22. All my children, as myself, learned on a 22, and it's so versatile. You can use it for small game. If you had to, you could use it in large game with proper placement. People commonly in the farm take down cows with a 22. So imagine how big a cow is compared to everything else. And so, it can be done. Now, is it the most practical for hunting? No. Some people think it's inhumane to hunt with a rimfire cartridge like this, especially a 22. But for the homestead, the 22 is the most versatile round and a must-have ammunition on a homestead or a farm. And so, over the years, I've collected lots of various 22s. Here's some standard stuff that I have. This is the old Federal Blue Box, some Remington Thunderbolts, some Aguila. This is some of the stuff from Aguila. There's a target round here, some hyper velocity stuff here, and of course CCIs, the mini mags. Anyway, but paired with a rifle like this, which I would also recommend as a great homestead rifle, and it's a Ruger Takedown. This one is in stainless steel, and it has these 10-round magazines. There's 3 of them in the back here. Paired with the scope is pretty awesome. I mean, it is very versatile, very lightweight. Everyone in your family will be able to shoot it. And with these extra larger capacity magazines, like this is a BX25, this one's a BX15, then you have enough round count to use it for all sorts of purposes. In fact, I was at a training exercise, and everyone brought their, mil-spec, 5.56, 308s, all of that good stuff. And one guy showed up with a Ruger 1022, and everybody was laughing except me, because I know what a Ruger 1022 at 22 long rifle round can do, and so. Yes, if this is what you can afford, this is what you have. And as a homesteader, you can afford a lot of this. And I know right now times are tough and you can't get a lot of 22s. You can't get ammunition, period. But you can still find it. And you might, instead of having to pay, let's say, well, in olden days, these were like $12. But okay, let's say, recent times, these were like maybe $30, whatever it was. And so you collect it slowly over time, and sure enough, at some point you'll have a whole mess of them like that. And so this actually is my favorite 22 round. The velocity is just right, the grain weight is just right. I really like it, and then it cycles through every 22 I have. So I have a decent amount of this. And then the next question is, so how much of this stuff, how much of the 22s do you actually need? And that's a lot of questions that new, I guess, gun owners, homesteaders, farmers like that ask. And it really does depend, and most people just kind of opt out and say, well, get as much as you can. And really, that's not practical either. And so what I would suggest is, buy rounds whenever you can. Right now, in today's market, maybe you don't buy so many rounds because you really have to figure out what you shoot. And so the way I look at it is, if you go to the range or if you target shoot once a week, you expend 100 rounds, which is really nothing. But let's say that, and then you do the math, 52, weeks in a year, let's make the math easy, call it 50 weeks. So, 50, 100 rounds, there you go, 5,000 rounds in a year, okay? And so you have to also think about, well, that's just for general practice and shooting and all of that, and maybe you don't go to the range once a week, but let's just kind of give it that. So 5,000 rounds a year. And then you also have to say, well, there's going to be instances, like I've been collecting this ammo since Sandy Hook well over a decade ago, when that kind of false flag happened. But at any point, the 22s, if you collect it over time, you'll amass a decent amount of it. And so I would recommend for the preppers or the homesteaders to have, 10 years worth. So what is 10 years worth? Well, let's do the easy math again. Let's say it's 5,000 rounds a year. So right there is like about 50,000 rounds. So anyway, that's what I would recommend. Now, that's a lot of money, surely, even with 22s. I guess over the period of time I bought these 22s, I probably spent around $2,500 for all these rounds. But that's then, that's not now. So buy packages of 22s a little bit at a time and stockpile them. And over a long period of time, you'll have a decent amount like that. And so, put it into your budget and start collecting 22s now. I know they're hard to get, but once in a while, I used to go to the Walmart all the time in the shortage days, and I would always find a box or two. If you go, regularly and are diligent about it, you can still buy it. So, get your 22s, get yourself a good 22 rifle, preferably with the scope on it like that, and a larger capacity magazine, and you're ready for anything in the homestead. So that's it. That's what I want to talk to you about today. The humble, the lowly 22, but not so humble when you can't get it, I guess. Alrighty, shalom.